Hi guys.
Hi. Welcome back to our channel, right? It's good to have you guys with us. Thank you guys so much for watching the first two videos that we shared about our journey of how we met. Yeah, so today we are going to be going to where are we?
We're moving to the journey that led to the marriage. So
Okay.
just before we enter that bus,
Yeah.
no, it's not a bus. Enter
AC.
that flight, that plane.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah. So, all
cool.
right. Yeah. So, we talked about our time together in school, uni. Then after uni, we I went for service, and then she finished before me. Funny, we
Yeah.
entered together, but because she did a 4 year course, I did a 5 year course plus extra. Yeah, I did 5.5. I mean, what's the point of doing five when you can do 5.5?
Mm.
So I just took it all, did 5.5, and then she was already working. I mean, so she went after school, she started working. I came out, I was done. Then we reconnected
Church.
in church, yeah. So we just reconnected in church, and for some funny, interesting reason, we just even if we were not talking, like chatting and all those
Yeah.
kind of things, we just kind of connect, like we still kept in touch,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And not deliberately, funnily,
Yeah.
it's just by circumstance. Either we meet in church or then or somehow something somewhere, and we just kept in touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the part where I said she had some explanation to do.
Yeah.
After school, yeah, you were in a relationship also. How many relationships have you been? So guys, this girl was always in a relationship. That's all I have to say. She
No,
was
I
always
wasn't always in a
there was never
relationship.
the time I met her. Every time I meet her like this, she has entered another one. She has jumped into another one. Kilo Shele.
I'm a lover.
And
I have so
me,
much
I'm a
love to
fighter.
give.
But for an interesting thing is every time we met, I was also we're both in a relationship. Funnily, like after school when we met again, she was in a relationship, I was in a relationship, but nothing was just like it was just a case. And funny, it wasn't funny that sometimes we'd talk about our relationship and like just advise each other. And we're forming like a counselor. I'm sure God will just be looking at them like they
Yeah,
play,
yeah,
be
yeah,
playing,
yeah.
But it was actually, and I think that was the beautiful thing about it, that we were just friends all through, we just were friends. So there was no bad blood or anything like that. Even after serving each other food, breakfast, I mean, serving each other
Mm.
breakfast,
It's definitely
and
coming.
yeah, so yeah, pretty much. Then yeah,
Yeah.
the explanation was, hmm,
What am I
what was the
explaining?
explanation?
I have no clue. You are the one that will tell me.
Yes, the explanation.
Yeah.
Then the part where I now felt like, so there was a time I was in one relationship. Then the relationship ended, and I knew that I needed to make a decision, right? So this time, be serious, get your jota. Sorry. So now I knew that I needed to make a decision. So it was getting to that time where I felt like, okay, I was ready. I wanted to pick make a decision about a life partner. And I was thinking, okay, so who is it going to be? Like this time around, like I was very deliberate about
At what point was
making a
this?
decision. That was when I was serving,
Okay.
just before I finished service.
Mm.
And funnily, I just got out of a relationship. I'm sorry, I got out of a relationship. I broke someone's heart, but I didn't mean to. Like I really didn't mean to.
Okay.
But I just kind of just felt like there was going to be a lot of struggle for us, not on our path, in terms of just getting started, like getting off, you know. I just felt like, what, it was best we just left. But also we had the communication, we had that conversation, we spoke about it and everything. But and we just like, okay, you know what, let's just take a break. And that was it. This time I didn't ghost, I didn't
Hallelujah.
ghost. Yeah. So, we took a break, and while I was in the break, I just felt like, okay, you know what? I needed to now deliberately learn more about making a decision for a life partner. So I remember then when I was in Ekiti, I got a lot of messages because I felt like I had people. I was my ex was still around. I had they were just different friends. Or I'm like, okay, so what exactly should I be looking out for? While it felt like I should have known or it was easy, it wasn't really an easy question. So when you feel like you should know how to do something, but then deep down, like I don't really know. Like, okay, that kind of thing. Like, so I just felt like, you know what? I needed to just, it was like I went back to school, to be honest. Like, I got a lot of messages and I was just trying to, cause I knew that marriage is very, it can make or mar any destiny,
Yeah.
and I was trying not to get it wrong. I was trying to just get it right. And I remember I listened to a particular message my pastor drew, and it felt like it was a master class for me, and it was very, very like it was very detailed. What are you looking out for? This like I remember I had like my jotter and my pen, and I was listening to the message. I'm like, okay. So I had there were different people that came to my mind, different people I was friends with, then I just felt like, okay, so if how is this going to play out? I remember I just prayed to God then that, what, just help me with this, make it easy. So it wasn't a case of, oh, I had that voice that, oh, this is the one. There was something similar to that. So what happened was that there were three people in my mind that I was praying about. And then this babe here just kept, like, she will not go. Like, I tried to, and to be honest, I tried to, like, okay, yeah, I've seen this person. And then she just kept coming to my mind. She kept coming to, and guess what? We're not talking at that point. And don't forget, when I say we're not talking, not like we're fighting.
Yeah, but
We're just, yeah, lost
we're not-
contact. At that
yeah.
point, we were not in touch at all. And she just kept coming to my mind. She kept coming to my mind, like, okay, And then I remember that I had to ask some very critical questions, to be sure that whatever decision I wanted to make was something I was making out of my head and spirit and not just my emotions, because it left to my emotions that I was feeling like, okay, why not try somebody else, somebody new, somebody different, that kind of thing. That euphoria of starting a relationship again, you are meeting somebody afresh. Yeah, all those kind of, what do you like to eat? Oh, really, you like pop and this too? Same here, this kind of thing, And I just felt like, okay, I wanted to try something new. That was I just felt like that. But then she kept coming to my heart. And coincidentally, don't forget I said that I prayed that God should make this easy for me, that whatever He wants me to do, just align it. For some weird reason, we had a call around that period. I'm not sure she knew. It was when she was going through an issue in her relationship. She was in a relationship, and then it was more like the relationship was turned into a situationship. She was trying to figure out whether, okay, the guy was around, the guy likes her, she doesn't really like the guy, but the guy is nice, the guy is kind, and she always pays people back with like hearts, like let me appreciate you. Here's my relationship.
Talk to me direct.
Here's my relationship.
Talk to me direct.
Here's my relationship. Have it. I appreciate you. And then for some reason she just called. I can't remember who called. Maybe I think I called her. I can't remember. And we're just talking. And funnily, at that period, to be honest, yes. We're talking, but then it wasn't crossing my mind that I was trying to look out for somebody to marry. We're just talking that period. That particular call, I remember that one. And after that call, I remember there was one of my friends that was around.
Oh yeah,
Michael.
I remember that call.
Yeah, that call at night, like we spoke. It was like we were trying to catch up.
Yes.
We spoke about everything. Oh, what are you doing in our relationship? Oh, she just told me about our relationship. I told her about the one I was in, or I just went out off and everything. And right after that call, I remember I spoke to Michael. Michael was my very good friend. I'm like, a thought just crossed my mind. Like, this person, and I told Michael about you. Like, can you remember this person? You see how our story went, we're dating and everything. I'm like, I don't know. Like, the Lord is trying to say something that I don't understand. I'm not trying to. And I just laughed about it. That's going to be funny, and I just moved on. And for some reason, we kept talking again or something like that. Then, oh, so what happened was when I now felt in my spirit that okay, she was going to be the one, and there was nothing dramatic. It was that message. I always recommend that message for anybody to anybody. That Pastor Koji's message was very detailed. Asking like really critical questions. What can you live with? What can't you live with? What are you looking out for? What is a deal breaker for you? What can you cope with? What's this person's strength? Like it was a whole masterclass. So I went through all that, and so I just felt like. So I remember then I was telling God that. So this is a person I would like. True confession. The first thing that crossed my mind was okay. And funnily, it had never been an issue for me, but that thing just crossed my mind that okay, but I wanted somebody that was. I wanted somebody that.
Say it.
I'm trying to say how to say it.
Say it.
No. So I wanted some. No, not like I wanted. I felt like I wanted somebody that was very like shapy, physical, whatever, everything like full, that kind of full option. Like even God is going to give me somebody like give me that full option. I'll be like, oh more. Now maybe this, So when God was like when she was like she kept coming to my mind, I was more like just like God, like I've not even seen her in a while. I don't really know how she looks like now and everything. Like, And I remember saying that message too. Attraction and physical appearance was part of the thing, Pastor, what you mentioned. I'm not like, okay. I've not even this and that and that. Guess what? I just felt like, because at that point, I felt like, guy, if you don't do this thing, you're on your own, that kind of thing. But while I understand that, I mean, God wouldn't just say, it's just one person for one the other person. But I just felt like this is actually for me. Like whatever I'm trying to do is just me trying to look for excuse that this person is for me. And I remember that I just decided that, you know what? And guess what, guys? I did something very interesting. Before I even spoke to her, I spoke to my sister, and I also spoke to my mom.
Really?
I told my yes. Ariola will remember. I spoke to my sister and I told her that I think Troy is going to be the person I'm going to get married to. And I remember Ariola was like, are you serious? And we spoke and everything. I'm like, I've not even told her. I've not said anything, but this is what. I was like, really? That would be cool. Like,
I didn't know that.
And my son was like, like our dad, like I know our dad, like our dad taught us, in Sunday school, like our dad is so lovely. I know our mom, I know like we know each other's parents, you get.
Yeah.
And I remember I also spoke to my mom then. I told my mom that this is the person. Mom was like, wow, really? That's nice. I had not spoken to her about it. I had not asked her out. Like I just went ahead. Like she was just in her. And guess what? At that period, I was even in Ekiti. She was in Lagos. After I spoke to both of them, I just like, okay, now let me at least speak to the person. let me at least speak to that person. Then we started talking. So I started calling her, I started talking about the phone. Then I said I was going to come over to Lagos. So I told her I was coming to Lagos. And they were like, okay. So it now looked more like when I come to Lagos, we'll see. So because we had started talking, it was like, okay. So it wasn't just off, then I came to Lagos too. So I was coming to Lagos. I felt like someone that was coming to visit somebody's house and say, I saw a flower in your compound, to come and pluck it. I had a mission, guys. Like I came to Lagos, I had a mission. I felt like, hey, God has spoken. Let me go for it. This is it. Okay. And I went with that confidence, but obviously a lot of creative juice and stuff. So I did a video. I did our story from the beginning, the ups and downs, everything. I packaged everything. When I was there, I'm like, oh shit, can I hear the yes, somebody? Can I hear the yes?
He'd be trying, he'd be creative, actually.
I did that video, did everything. I'm like, okay, you know what? What kind of environment would accommodate this ingenuity? That's something that has genius in it. I don't know. I kind of goes. Yeah. So I'm like, we're gonna do a beach. So my mind already pictured everything. So I told her that, we're meeting at the beach. Like, okay, cool. Yeah. So meanwhile, there was one picture of us that I saw one time like that. She snapped at the beach. That picture was really nice, like very fine. I kept looking at that picture. It was part of the pictures I used to make that video. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I already played everything in my head. Let's go to the beach. I came to Lagos, went to the beach. There was something that happened. Okay.
Anyway,
That's
let
me
let me tell you, because I've been talking since I've been very quiet.
Yes.
Anyways, so right, we reconnected after some time in church. I remember meeting him back in church after uni, right? And he was like, what am I doing in the church? Because I don't usually attend their church actually, but I was invited by a friend, and we just
marry somebody that can remember things. So.
we just kind of reconnected.
This is the real story, guys.
And I think at that time, so I was in a situationship, right? And it was not really going as expected during that period. And he was kind of there. He listened, and then he invited me over to his place back in Shimolu. Then that I should just come around, she just hang out and everything. And I was like, of course, why not? He's my friend and everything like that. So I remember going, but before I went. I started, because we were chatting, we were talking on the phone, once in a while during that period. So it was already beginning to bring back some memories and some feelings, which I was like, okay, where are all these feelings and emotions coming from and everything like that, So going to see him, I was actually kind of, God, I just want this visit to go smoothly. I don't want any issues. And, I remember visiting him then that day, and, for some weird reason.
Was I done with service then?
You were not done yet. You were just around or something. So we talked. I remember we talked that night. We spoke and spoke. We spoke like into the night. We were just talking and discussing and everything like that, which was kind of nice, and all. And then we now went back memory lane, guys. We started talking about, things that happened, how we dated, and then, all of those things just started bringing up something inside of me, and I was like, oh God, oh God.
I remember that night.
We even had a dance. You remember there was a dance. We had a dance because he's a creative, so he can dance, he can act, he writes scripts. This guy is a very creative human being, though. Anyways, so that night was actually really cool, and I remember I was already beginning to feel everything that I felt for him before, right? It was gradually coming back, and because I think in that moment, because he now started apologizing about everything.
This was before service, right?
I think it was doing service.
No.
It was just service.
It was during service. Yes. I think I came home and we had a break. Yes, we had a break. Yes.
And so, he started apologizing that he's sorry that any man that will marry me will be so lucky. He said saying all the right things, you guys.
I remember that statement. And to be honest, guys, when I was saying that, I never even thought, it never crossed my mind that we're going to get married. I just felt like, it was just a case of, I missed. And the reason why at that time was you were in a relationship, right? Yeah.
I was.
No, it's situationship.
Yeah, it was.
During the situation. So it kind of looked like we couldn't connect. Like it couldn't happen for some reason. That there was just some barrier that it couldn't happen. So it was just a case of it was what we had was nice. That kind of stuff. So, and for me, I was talking and I remember saying it then, whoever that is going to get married to you is going to be very lucky.
Yeah.
I remember that particular statement and I said it. And to be honest, I never thought it would be me. Like it did. I just felt like, in my mind, I'm like, man, and told them I felt my man. Like, that kind of thing. So I think that happened.
Yeah.
Yes. Then I now went for service.
Yeah.
Then we now disconnected again.
Yeah.
Yes. So when I was trying to just think and make a decision, then when she crossed my mind, so in my mind I'm not like, okay, like, because at that time we had disconnected for a while, we had not spoken, so it just felt like she's in a relationship, she's this and that, blah blah blah. Then that was when we now spoke again. Then you now told me that there's this guy you're liking, you don't really like the guy. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, at least she's not engaged. So whatever that is going to happen, I'm going to go and do it. Then that was when my own story now came, when I was thinking, and then I felt, okay, let me go for it.
Yeah, go to the beach.
So I now came. Before the beach, there was a part where you were trying to make a decision between two of us, between myself and one other guy in the office.
Yeah.
And that was it after the video?
I think it was before the video. I can't remember.
So
can't
yeah,
remember.
so no. What happened is when I came to Lagos, I had not asked her out yet. So, but we had started talking. So I came to Lagos. We now started talking. So we started talking and
I don't
everything.
think I said yes to you, Seth, the day you showed me the video.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't. So what happened was that we started talking. No, but how come it was so glaring that you wanted to make a decision between two of us?
Yes, because after the whole video thing, you had made your intentions known,
Yeah.
right? But there was also at that point, because that was when we were just reconnecting. So at that point, there was another guy that was also in the picture.
Yeah.
Then you also had your own issue at the point. I think it was around that time that you and this other lady too were trying to sort out your issues.
Yes, yes.
So for me, and at that point again, you guys, I felt like a plan B again. Because I just felt like, okay, you have somebody out here, what exactly are we doing? So like you said, it felt like there was just this barrier, like we could not just, and then this other guy in my office then was, very cool guy, hardworking, sweet. I used to call him Teddy Bear because like he was so chubby.
Can you hear?
Yeah, yeah. And he was just very sweet, right? So he was all right. It's not as if I was dating the guy, but he was asking me out. So for me he was like, okay, ticked a lot of boxes, and I was like, not bad, and everything like that. And at that point he now later reached out and now told me that he and this other person, they were no longer together and everything like that. And then I remember we walked down my estate street that day and you were like, seriously, you want to marry me? You remember?
Yeah,
you were like,
that was when he told me that he couldn't say that.
I was not like,
that thing that night paid. So what happened was, have I played that video for you
I
today?
think so.
So
I can't
let me go
remember.
to the video part. So I can't remember whether this came after the video or not. So I did a video, did how we met, blah blah blah, played it for her. Like, okay, she had watched it. Like I could literally tell that she was very emotional because I left her. So what I did was we went to the beach. Then I took her to one. There's a part, if you, for those that know Lagos beach. I don't know which of the beaches we went to. But the popular one, that all those ones that will have stone into the, like the what's it called?
The water.
Yeah. So we walked a bit on that stuff and we sat down, and then I told her I wanted to show her a video. So then I gave her a phone, played the video, then I left her. Then I walked away. Like, when it's, your mom say, when it's you are yourself, you think about yourself. So I let her know, like, okay, this is me, this is the video, this is you. I don't want to influence your decision. Obviously, like, I did a video for you. What else was I trying to do? So I'm more like, okay, just take your time. And I walked away. Then I was looking at her, I was trying to look at her expression, reaction when she was watching the video, and then I came back and we got talking. Then it was more like, okay, she's going to think about it. She can't give me so then that was when maybe it was then I now realized that it was a guy, and man, that thing gave me sleepless nights. Who is this guy? Who are you? What are you doing? Like, that guy be giving me a lot of pressure.
Yeah, apparently.
He gave me prayer, guys.
Apparently.
So the guy was, and the reason is that the guy was in our office. The guy, when I saw the picture of the guy, I'm like, man, this is some dude, like buffed up guy. And the guy was not forming like, I'm here for you, I'm there for you. He was not saying, and she was not telling me things like the guy was there when the. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he was. I've even spoken to the guy's mom.
I see. I was not hearing things like that. I mean, I told my mom that I've seen somebody before us getting response. Mama, I'm not like, this one, I will not collect. I will stay here.
And for me, it was because, like, that whole incident, because I remember there was a night I came to visit you and then I went back home crying because that was when you told me that there was actually somebody in the picture that you are trying to figure things out with. And I was like, and you allow me to get to this point where my emotions are now back, for you and everything like that. So I was hurt and I was like, no way I'm going to be his plan B again. And so it now so happened that this other guy was now in the picture at that period. So that's how he and I kind of connected. And he was, let me not talk too much, but like, he was a very sweet guy, right? So when he came around and showed me the video, told me everything, so it was more or less like, okay, now I have a decision to actually make. And, at this point, I needed to be serious about it. And I remember I prayed, I prayed so much because I didn't want to just go with the fact that okay, I've known him for a while. He's kind of familiar. I didn't want it to be like I'm just settling for the safe option. While this person is somebody new that I'm still getting to know and everything like that. So I really prayed, honestly, guys. Like I cried midnight. I can't lock myself in one of the rooms in the house, in my auntie's house then that I used to stay in Lagos, and I was just praying like, God, I don't want to miss it in marriage because every message I've listened to, my parents, everyone, it's been a case of marriage is a very important decision. The person you marry can determine the course of your life and can also determine eternity, basically. So I didn't want to miss it. But yes, the other guy was a contender, yeah, he was a strong contender.
So that guy, Green guy is his name anyway. I remember. I remember then that guy gave me prayer, and then I know what now at the point I almost just felt like this babe has gone. That was when she told me that this guy is traveling, that is traveling to Canada. I'm like, I'm traveling to Ekiti. I'm going to Ekiti with brother and sister. And that's when I was going back to. The guy was already, and she sounded like she was really like involved with the follow up on how's it going, the guy's traveling soon and blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what? Well, I just left everything out. I've done my best. And I remember when she told me that she was going to give me a reply. Then I had already give me a reply. In a way, I already knew that that's it. We are good. But then I was not thinking, what if? What if? Hey, like suspense. Me, the creative person, want to be doing me suspense things. No. I was trying to figure it out. Like, okay, what could it be? Is it like 100%? Like, is it going to be? But by the time I came and then we saw, I already knew that, okay. Then she now said, I have a video for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a video for me. Can we just watch this video that we both have for each other? And she also did a video. I'm like, oh, then so I already just knew that, this was it. And then, it was amazing. Like it was then the moment it started, it just felt like we continued from school.
Yeah.
Like it was like after we left SS3, we entered the door, we came out and we're just dating Lagos. Like it was like that.
There was no gap.
Like it just picked up, like it was really beautiful,
Yeah.
Then I was now back, then I now came back, I was done with service and I also came back to Lagos. It was amazing, So that was it. Then the proposal, straight to it. We're dating already. I think we now dated for how many months? About six, a little over 6 months.
Yeah,
it wasn't up to a year.
It wasn't up to a year.
It wasn't up to a year, yeah. So funnily, it kind of felt like we dated for 10 years.
Yes.
Because we were in school then like 10 years ago. That fast forward to that time. So when we were dating, it was 10 years ago that we dated, 10 to 11 years ago. So
yeah,
it just felt like we've been dating all along. So when I felt like, okay, no, this is it. So what I did was we're already talking about marriage. Like, okay, we wanted to get married.
We agreed on what we wanted to do.
Yeah, so
somebody was not listening.
We talked about marriage and what was that thing? I was not listening. What was that thing? Come on, say.
No, we had agreed that we were going to. It was supposed to be the following year.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how would I not agree with you when I have an ace up my sleeve? Okay. Oh God. Okay. So I purposely agreed with her. So what I now did, I did something. So I'm like, okay, we spoke about that was going to be the following year. But I knew if I should wait, that anytime from January, anything I do, she will know that, okay, this is the year we are talking about. So I said, what can I do? And me, I like surprises, she knows.
Yes.
Like, it has to be a surprise. I mean, what's the point? Life that can't be boring. You have to spice it up. So I'm like, okay, I have to do it. So what I did was, let me do at least a little before next year. So it won't be too early and at the same time it won't be too close. So what I did was, first thing I did was I spoke to my parents. So I remember I called was it my mom I spoke to then or my dad? I spoke to one of them it was my mom. So I spoke to my mom like, okay, I think I'm getting ready to settle down and everything. My mom started smiling like, okay, that's good. When my mom had it, my mom now called my dad. He now called, say, I want to talk to you. So my dad sat down, and that was one day I was there. And I said, when if you had to ask you, when do you think Tolu will be ready to settle down? And I was like, well, I think yeah, it's ready now. Like, like, that was my G. That was my guy. That was my dad. And two of us, as we all laughed, me and myself and mom just laughed. And I was like, well, he said he's here. I was like, okay, yeah, good. And then we spoke. Then I'm not like, okay. So we had spoken. Then she had someone had come to the house. Then we had already said Mo has come to the house. Sorry, this was wondering. So Mo had come to the house. Then she had met my parents.
Mo
so
is Motunrayo.
Motunrayo. So she had come to the house. Both parents are already aware that we're dating. Because I remember I went to her parents' side to meet her parents and everything. So everybody was aware. So, but it was now a case of, okay, now I want to get married. So after I spoke to my parents, I'm not like, okay, I'm going to speak to, I can't remember who gave me that idea to speak to. I can't remember. Maybe I just thought about it. So I'm not like, okay, what I'm going to do to make that surprise really sweet and there will not be any comma inside, let me first go and get permission so that whatever I'm doing, I know I'm covered. So, because in a mind, so I was thinking, what could make her feel maybe not ready or whatever. That what if I'm like, no, let me go up ahead of her. So that's why I called her dad. I'm like, who is the best person I can have this discussion with? So I spoke to her dad. I remember calling her dad that day. I spoke to him. I told him what I planned, and it was not like, wow. Yeah, I like the fact that you have honored me. All right, that was me. I honor people that I want to marry their daughter.
You want to marry 20 people?
Sorry, no, so and you now said, so we spoke. He spoke at length. I was like, you have my 100%. That's how the creative bubble started bubbling up. Like, let's do this. So first thing, I reached out to her cousin. I already had my plan, what I wanted to do. Fast forward, video is getting too long. So that day, I traveled in her mind. I was in Lagos. I told her I was traveling, and then I spoke to her. Yeah. So that day, that particular day, I told her I was traveling. So I told her I was traveling. Then so that she will not have any clue, because I don't like when I'm planning that story that night, anything should spoil it. So at least she will not even have a clue I'm around. If I even say I'm sleeping, she can think that so I say I'm traveling, I'm going home. So I spoke to her cousin. I already told her cousin about it. I told my brother, my sister, I told everybody around about it. She was the only one that I did not tell about it.
Well, you bought me a dress.
So what I did was, some days before, I bought her the dress I wanted her to wear. So I just gave it to her. I'm like, oh, okay, I just bought dress for you and everything. Oh, nice. So she kept it. So I needed her to wear that dress that day. How will I do it? Dress that is really nice for a proposal. So I told her cousin to take her out. So the task was now, how will her cousin get her to wear that particular dress that I bought for her? Whereas she will want to wear it at least when I'm around. I told her I was not around. So that's why I told her, because she must make sure she wears that dress. So she was like, oh, let's go. Her cousin told her, oh, there's one dinner she wants to invite her for. And everything. And if you guys know, okay, Sonia does not like going out. So the first order is, what will make her go out? That's only the first thing. To now go and now be dressing up, that thing is like stress.
Wow.
Like, so to make her dress up enough for proposal, it was like, that was a major order for me. So, and I trust iTunes, that's the best person you can have in your corner, So I already told her. So she did that stuff, told her, oh, one of her friends, is having dinner, to her go. And for that thing to work, what I thought of was, I needed to convince her to go. Or else she would have just easily said no.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, so because I was not putting
my cousin has invited me for multiple
times, so
never go.
We already know that she might not want to go. So at that period, she was talking to her. I also now formed call that, coincidentally I called her and I overheard that, well, she now told me, my cousin is telling me. I'm like, go now, go and have fun now. I said, So go and have fun now. This and now I had to form. Once I even did during that call, I had to do like my mom was calling me. Ma, I'm coming. Ma, I had to make you really
Really? That
real.
was
Yeah,
acting.
that was acting. I was in. I was. So I now told her that you can even wear that dress that I bought you. So like, why would I wear that dress and you're not there? You not see it. Say, don't worry. I just need you to like just have fun.
Have
The
fun,
fact that I'm
yeah.
not here, I need you to just have fun and we take
And look
pictures and
good.
yeah, look good and everything. So Shisha was contemplating. Eventually, she agreed. Now, how will she wear heels? So it's another. Anyway, Shisha successfully, thank you. Did a great job. Brought her. So what had done earlier was I'd gotten like I met with the management of a bar that I wanted to use their bar, for a proposal. So I spoke to the guy. The plan was I did a video again. And how can we start something we started with? We have to use it to enter into the marriage. So I did a video of pictures. But what I did in that video was I made a video that didn't have any clue, any picture at first. So she was brought to that bar as though that's actually she was waiting for somebody to go for the dinner.
Yeah.
Then she sat down. Meanwhile, at that point, I was already in that bar. The video was already on the screens. And bar, there are different screens. So all the screens already had the video. And then she was just there with her phone waiting. And then it had a soundtrack too. A soundtrack of a song that we both liked. So I did that then. I was now behind the bar.
You were behind the counter.
I was behind, like I ducked there and I had a mic with me. And then the song was playing and I started talking. So I had like a voiceover. So in her mind, she was wondering, I'm sure maybe the voice at first. And then, okay.
I was very uncomfortable, by the way. No, you continue, but like I was very uncomfortable because it's not my kind of setting. In a lounge, there was music,
You will never find that in that kind of
go
place.
to such
places. If it's like maybe fellowship, she'll be there. She'll be in those, and I couldn't approve in the fellowship. So you had to pull it up to bring her out.
I was very uncomfortable. So when I heard the voice, I was like, it's not the voice of somebody that's supposed to be in Ogun State. But I was still just forming where maybe I'm just hearing this.
And then the video started playing. And then she just, for some reason, just raised her head and started saying the story. Because it was like a story of how we met 11 years ago. How we were friends in school. It's now looking like this story is looking like the story I'm familiar with. Then I started talking. And as she was trying to just put everything together that this is it. Then she started seeing a picture. She was like on the screens in the bar. She was like, what?
At that point.
At that moment, I just walked in with the mic and I kept continuing because all the while I kept talking while the video was playing.
And at that point, my cousins were walking in, my friends were walking in, my brother-in-law walked in,
everybody.
My sister-in-law was with her phone,
and everybody was
my cousin was already with their phone.
I wasn't even there yet. Yes, so they had walked in.
Yes.
So before she came, guess what, guys? Before she came, everybody there were all up because there's like a rooftop, open rooftop, that bar. So we're all there. So we saw as the car came in, like we were just hiding. We saw as they came in and everything. My brother, my sister-in-law, my sister, everybody, our friends were all there. So so they were the ones that came in first. So they started coming in with phone, and at that point she was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I wanted to enter the AC that was right beside me. I'll look for a picture and put it.
Yeah, Twan stood up and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And next thing I just came out from the crowd. Like I just started talking, this and that, blah blah blah. She just ran behind the AC, like what's going on here? And at that point, beyond even the guy, people we know, even everybody, all the other guys in the bar, also like were already looking and smiling, and some of them already brought out their phone and everything like that, So, and then I pulled her out from behind the AC. She was looking beautiful. The dress was amazing. And then I went on one knees, and then they say Jesus. I went on one knee. That S just came, but I went on one knee. Let me just put it again. I went on one knees. I went on one knees. You get the drift. So I went on one knee and then the rest is history. As I stood up, it was this camera I saw. Cut. I say, how we met 6 years ago. So that was it. And then the journey began. And it's been amazing, it's been beautiful.
Bless God.
Yeah, and I'll do it over and over and over and over and over again. This amazing. Guess what, guys? What I was now thinking about, I wanted so no. Please tell me about that.
See this one. What if I said no?
No, how can you? How can you when you cook something very well, you don't think you know, you know? And yeah, and I need to say this. The decision I made, right, to ask for her in marriage was with clear mind and open eye, if you get what I mean. So, and at that point, there was no other person. I had different people I was close to, different people, but I sat down to actually, seek God to know who exactly. So at that point, it wasn't a case of plan B or anything. Like, this was who I felt at peace that God would, that I would walk the journey of marriage with, and I just felt, and I went for it. And guys, guess what? God nailed it. Present. Most corner.
Anyway, for me too, I had peace. And so guys, what I would just say is that for anyone that is about to get married, make sure that you pray about it and allow God to direct you. Don't just go by your own, your what you think in your head, right? Just allow God to actually direct you, because it's a very important institution. And please don't date in secondary school. I don't think I advise it. What do you think? What do you think you learned from that experience?
Well, I would say that experience got me to where I am. So make your decision.
Anyway, just think wisely, be smart, right? And don't compromise. Don't compromise.
Date with wisdom, sha. Make sure, the priority at that point is studies.
Exactly. Focus.
But then it's not a no. Don't date in secondary school.
I just feel like you should have your priorities right. I may be wrong. Let us know what you guys think in the comments section.
Have your priorities right. Yes. But then have your relationship right also.
Have your priorities right. Allow God to direct you. Let the Holy Spirit lead you. Please and please. So, not to make this video too long because it's already long, but thank you guys for sticking with us till now, for watching. So please look out for the next video. We'll be talking about our experience in marriage, some of the things that we've learned, some of the struggles we've had, and some of the lessons we've learned. Did I say that? Anyways, we'll be talking a lot more about that in the next video, okay? So look out for that. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't. Have a wonderful day.
And turn on your notifications for more videos coming up from the T's to more. That's Motorayo, Tolu.
Torayo. The T's.
The T's. Almost corner.
Yes. Bye, guys.